Well, it has been a fantastic weekend of vintage racing at Watkins Glen International in Watkins Glen, New York with SVRA. This event is always a celebration of the history of motorsports. So what better way to kick off the weekend than to go to the place that records the history of motorsport?
We're at the International Research Center, Motorsports Research Center here in Watkins Glen. Tonight we inducted Roberto Guerrero.
Wow. What an honor. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Tony, for setting this up, and it really is an honor. And then when I see the kind of names associated with me on the Walk of Fame, it's very humbling.
Then, just as they did back in the day, we have a tech inspection at Smalley's Garage.
You're witnessing the same site that you saw in 1948, the same stones, the same signage.
Then what might be the highlight of any vintage racer?
Well, it's so special getting to hop in these old Trans Am cars and run them on the course that, gosh, is 20 years older than our cars. And then come down here for the Downtown Festival. The city of Watkins Glen and their sponsors do a great job of putting this on. We've got thousands of people here. They all want to see the cars and touch them and sit in them and just share in the real excitement of road racing the way we know it was.
But nowhere that we race, nowhere is it like this. Watkins Glen just loves this event. You can see thousands and thousands of people are gathering just for the pre-show of the reenactment. In a little bit we'll fire up these cars and we'll do a couple of laps around the original course that was run in 1948. And all along the 6+ mile course, you'll see fans lined up in their lawn chairs, cheering the drivers on. And this really kicks off the Fall Festival.
Back at the track, there was so much for our fans to do. First of all, we looked around and I would guess there was probably 5 to 10 times more campers than we've ever seen. And we want to thank the campers and all the spectators. We cannot tell you enough how much this means to us and our drivers and everybody in the vintage racing community for your support. But we provided so much for the spectators to do. For instance, you could test your skills in a brand new Jaguar on the Jaguar Autocross. After that, you can get in a brand new Land Rover or Range Rover and do the Land Rover off-road experience. There was a huge car and vintage motorcycle show in the infield, and the participants of that got to do parade laps around the track, and it was so cool to see these cars and old motorcycles going around the track. Also, we had Westies at Watkins, which are VW Westfalia campers. They got to do laps around the track. This weekend we also got to celebrate something very special.
Well, this is Victor's 800th start in a race. That doesn't include the practice days or any of the qualifying sessions. This is his 800th start in a real race. So pretty amazing, huh? He started in 1965.
That's crazy.
And he's raced every single year since. He's never missed a year of racing.
So Vic, that's got to feel pretty good, right?
Yeah, 800th start, rainy, finished. What more can I ask? And I think Barb said we got first in class.
International GT joined us, and it's easy to see that the series is heating up because there was very close racing lap after lap between the Porsches and the Ferraris. We celebrated the Collier Cup.
The original Collier Trophy was started in 1955 to honor Sam and Miles Collier, both who were instrumental in bringing sports car racing to the United States. It was an all-MG race. The SCCA sponsored it. In 1985, SVRA decided to bring the Collier Cup race to vintage racing.
We also had a Corvette race, Corvette being the featured mark of the event, and this was for the Governor's Cup. But easily the crowd favorite of the weekend was the historic Trans Am race on Sunday, featuring the actual cars that raced in the Trans Am series from 1966 to 1972. Saturday night we threw a great party with unbelievable entertainment. Motostalgia threw an auction where they auctioned off some really highly collectible cars.
So I see 57.5. And he's shaking his head again.
I'm sad to say that we're wrapping up. The sun is going down on Watkins Glen. It is Sunday. Wednesday we arrive in San Diego. We go to Coronado for Fleet Week San Diego, set up a racetrack and get back to vintage racing in sunny San Diego. Stay tuned.